Raffles JC produces the most interesting vectors questions, and this is one example of one that really made me think for a couple of seconds before I got it. So let's look at this question over here. We are not given any values whatsoever, and in fact it's just a show question. We are asked to show that a vector is perpendicular to a plane and it is parallel to all of these alphabets over there. So to actually appreciate what this question wants us to do, let's first draw out the plane and the respective vectors on it. So we are given a plane called pi. So imagine pi over here, and we have three different vectors on it. So three different points. This is my origin, and then if I shoot up from here to here to here, right, let's say this is A, B, and C, then I will have A bar, B bar, and C bar over here. So right now we are supposed to show that a vector parallel to the plane, so imagine this is the vector that is parallel to the plane, is also parallel to all of these over here. So if you realize, if I draw a line between A and B over here, right, this purple color line over here would be B minus A, N minus start. And if I draw another green color line from here to here, here will be C minus B, right, N minus start over here. So if I take these two vectors, the purple and the green color vectors, and I cross them together, what I will get in the end is another vector over here, which is what we call the normal of the plane, right? And this normal of the plane is essentially a vector that will be parallel to this vector over here. So this question actually requires us to first find out what is the normal of this plane, and once we find out what's the normal of this plane in terms of A, B, and C, then we are able to prove that any vector that is perpendicular to this plane will be parallel to the normal as well, because if it's parallel to the normal, it will be parallel to the plane. So this is the whole idea behind the question, and I thought it was so interestingly set. So let's do this question over here. So we know that AB essentially is OB minus OA, which gives us B bar minus A bar. We also know that, let's say another vector AC can be written as OC minus OA, which essentially will give us C bar minus A bar. So the normal of the plane would just be a cross product of these two, right? AB times AC over here. So we'll have B bar minus A bar times C bar minus A bar over here. And then when we expand this, we get B bar cross C bar, and then we end up with minus B bar cross A bar, and then we continue with minus A bar cross C bar and plus A bar over here. So you realize that this portion over here has a value of 0, right? Because A bar cross A bar is essentially 0. And just realize that this over here can be then expressed as A bar cross B bar over here, right? We can flip their positions around, and then here will become a plus. And then if here is a minus, we also can flip their positions around to give us plus C bar cross A bar, and then of course this is B bar cross C bar as such, right? So you realize that in the end, when we flip the two negative signs over, we get this whole entire addition of different vectors, which is essentially what we wanted to prove at the start, right? If I were to just rearrange it to fit the question as clear as it is, C bar cross A bar plus A bar times B bar over here. So just a concluding statement, we can say that any vector that is perpendicular to the plane will be parallel to the normal, and the normal of the plane is B bar cross C bar plus C bar cross A bar plus A bar cross B bar showed, right? And this is how we actually prove this question to get the full mark. So I thought that this question was so interesting, and this yet again goes to show that in JC, the questions are no longer your standard questions. You need to have enough practice, both in terms of breadth and depth, right? You need to have enough breadth in terms of question types, knowing how to do multiple different question types within each chapter, and for each question type to have enough depth in terms of the number of questions that you actually do to really hone yourself and achieve mastery in that specific question type. And if you are looking for a resource that will help you get there, I've created a library of online resources called the Library of A1 Math Academy, which is essentially my online archive that I've been compiling over the past 2 to 3 years, where I filmed videos for every single question type, explaining how to do every single question, and I've compiled questions from all over Singapore. So if you want more information on how to get access to this library, and if you'd like to purchase it for yourself, make sure to WhatsApp this number over here, and I'll send you a demo link to show you exactly how the library works. And also for a limited time only, all new library subscribers will get access to our 24/7 premium marking service, where we will mark any work that you send us within the portal itself and return it to you within 24 working hours. No limit on that. Practice as much as you want, we'll mark it all. For more information, WhatsApp this number over here, and I'll send you details there.